Good morning. I did a little bit of poking afterwards last time, and I think I've actually... Well, I know one of the things that's going on, and it's probably related to the other things that are going on. So apparently, there's this thing where if an iframe has display none, it doesn't get an object, I'm assuming it's presentation shell, which among other things will cause a whole bunch of canvas stuff to throw NS failure. So I was able to work, well, very much work around. And I need to actually organize, so that was actually something I was also looking at. That was something else I was looking at. That was something else I was looking at. That was something else I was looking at. Okay, and that's developer rig. And developer rig documentation, okay. So I got a very quick and dirty workaround. So before, what we were doing was creating the canvas once at the top, and then continually using that to measure text. And the problem is that if we create a canvas, I think, in this display none state that I'm assuming has something to do with some of our many levels of iframes. Of which we're not seeing all of them here, but if we keep burrowing down, we got iframe, iframe, iframe. Okay, and we're finally to my code. So 3 levels of iframes, some of which are supervisor.js, extension frame.js. So top level iframe has extension frame, has supervisor, has my actual code. So these are going to be in the Shingamahiki here, the developer rig, so I could see if either of these are the particular problem, but, well, and coordinator. But I don't know if it matters which it, well, if I could look at the code and figure out how to make a tiny test case that I could push up to Elm, maybe that'll be an issue. The point is that we create a new canvas in context, we try to measure it, and if not, this needs to be a little bit cleaner, but then I'm currently logging it, and then we just recurse in a second and hope we actually have something. I don't know of any better way to detect that. And then try it and fail. We could try to say console.log canvas, and then if we succeed, we also print those and see if there's any obvious property differences. And oh, look, it's picking up my Windows settings. for color scheme. Okay, here's the Elm errors. Weird, the exception is coming out later. Assigned slot, HTML collection, node list empty, class list. I mean, we just kind of create an empty element, so it's not unsurprising that it's pretty undecorated. If we come down here where we're not getting exceptions, sign slot null. Does the one have base URI? Yes. Height hidden false. Perhaps the context. And the problem is I'd actually have to like get this out as probably JSON or something so I could diff it. Canvas, fill style font. Is that, that's just deleted. Okay. Rendering context. Reset the font. Yeah, nothing's jumping out as being different based on current state. What does copy object even mean? Can we is it stringify? And then there's like some default parameters. Okay. That doesn't work. Which leaves us back at exceptions. So this needs to be cleaned up. This will literally try forever if it never succeeds. Possibly an exponential timeout would be sufficient. Now the problem is that I tend to do this in bursts. So if I do exponential timeout on every single instance, we've got a problem. So it would be nice if we could send multiple items to this. do I have to notify? Well, or could I track whether I have outstanding retries? Yeah, we could do a completely different tact on this. We could do... this will fail simply at setting... Oh. Setting the font. Alright, so let's do a little test here. Equals sans serif. Alright, we get errors and then we get not errors. So setting a constant font is sufficient to trigger the exception. So we can take all this stuff. We want... Then we have function, try to get valid canvas. Try to set something on it. And we also have to track our time. Well, we do have to bootstrap this. Okay, so these we have to remember, because it would be nice to reuse those instead of recreating them all the time. Oh yeah, and I had to tweak Windows a little bit, so just checking volume. Maybe it is a little bit lower. I was getting peaking when I was testing it. But now it's not peaking as much. Testing, testing, testing. Hello, hello. Okay, so it's peaking up there a little bit. So that will try to assign those. Try to get valid canvas in time. We don't have parameters. Well, either keep that here or we keep that. We could keep it here. So actually, this is time. Okay, so you then are going to need to not do any of this. What you're going to do is say, if we have, well, if we have And I guess what we really need is the context here, but if context, then we do this. Else, we have this is the kind of complexity I was kind of hoping to avoid, but it's I really don't want to be just sitting there test. So if we succeed, then we go this is right. I did this as a well. I still need it as a function, kinda. Well, no, actually, the for each here is to do get text width. And then reset it. So as long as we've got a context, we'll set it, we'll measure it, we'll send the response back. This is where I guess the asynchronous responses actually kind of make sense. So we get one exception. I guess I never put anything on success. No, I'm printing messages. We never get the messages back. What? Message, we got our window size, got our next request. Let's just do that, see that it's running. Okay, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. 2,000 must have succeeded. Pardon. But there were no metrics. Okay, yes, we had an array of... Ooh. We requested twice, apparently. I might still have some extra stuff left in the main code. Pardon. Before initialization. So what? I don't know why you're not complaining about that. Oh. Right, because we do execute it here. Okay, so it's a function. It's a function. So why are we not getting messages? We're not getting metrics either. Okay. And why is it 14 now? Is measure text doing an exception now? Oh wait, this is... What? What? Undefined. What? Right, we did these as... Well, I thought vars would be global, but I guess not. And do I need to keep being explicit about that? Undefined has no properties. Okay, now we're getting this weirdness again. Okay, now we're getting null. So... Oh, I left the var on here. Copying stuff around. Message text size. That's still 7. Value should have actually been replaced. So that shouldn't be a concern. We're still printing just too much stuff. Yeah, okay, so that's success, that's delay. We kind of expect that. And this is where Elm is having some kind of issues here. We're still printing text metrics. And my app is still printing all messages. Okay, so that will fix itself over time. And I guess I would have to like animate that position or something. So that's the Elm code saying, here's all the messages I got. This time we did not bug out, so it's not super reliable, I guess. I think what I want to do is say, actually, the exception is less interesting. Trying again in tiring. And was this? This is a Firefox issue, but only when embedded, which shouldn't apply to the non-Twitch extension version. And then we have to look at how much other stuff do we have kind of in working mode here. Alright, so Bootstrap, we've been pretty much... Right, we added function names to those. Debug.log message is actually our only thing there. And this should not be affecting this version, because we should get it first time here. Yeah. Well, that's not even running Bootstrap. No, that is panel, but anyway, in general. I could probably even play with the timing on that. Check for valid canvas and retry if measure text fails. Now, what I'm not getting lately is the actual Elm error. Is like this debugging introducing some changes here? Oh, And somehow I grabbed the window I was trying to push up to get to. Okay. Oh, wait, there it is. $37.99. DOM node.child nodes. In virtual DOM, add DOM nodes help. And what we saw in debugging yesterday is that it is iterating based on a different thing. All right, well, let's take a look at documentation, extension frame, supervisor, yeah. You aren't doing it. Overflow hidden. You aren't doing it. But we do have a coordinator URL stuck in here. Coordinator. iframe.style.display. Create supervisor iframe. Extension frame authorize. All right. It seems like we always used to have this. Unfortunately, the problem now is that I don't know what the occurrence frequency on this is. But what I want to do is try changing that. And see if that is in fact still the issue with the Elm stuff. Yeah. So that could be awkward. One way to fix this would be to defer insertion of our script tag until we're visible, which apparently coincides with the authorized event. but then we would actually have to save that information so that it could later be sent to the running Elm program. And actually that gets super hairy because we'd have to have a script that received the event. It would have to add a script tag that created the Elm object. And I was thinking another script tag that would run when that was done. But that would get into actually having to monitor the script tag so we knew when we could attempt to call an Elm project. Also, doing this, oh, okay, yes, canvas exception, I believe. But if it never gets display, it never removes the display none property, it never fails, which is surprising me. Also, you said 1,000 twice. Did I type a literal 1,000 in there? Yes. One 1,000, two 1,000. Oh, and then it was deduping the messages. Okay. And then we have to get status. Actually, it's the only thing now. Okay. So canvas is never valid. Huh. Is this a timing issue of some sort? Okay. And suddenly, reloading causes immediate problems. Well, that one was weird. Yeah. But this is immediate. Okay, then this one happened here. But this happened right away. I'm wondering if we do this at the end. But here we've set the attribute. Sandbox atters. Has panel whitelist. Huh. Whitelisted config URLs. Has config whitelist, has panel whitelist. Anyway. The thing I'm wondering about is if doing this at the very end is actually a problem. In that it starts out with display, like it starts loading with display and then has it removed. Although we just saw one instance there. Oh, no. No, set attribute class, okay. Yeah, iframe create, so we've got an iframe. Well, it seems to have improved it, but I thought I saw one when the page auto-refreshed. Alright, let's try the auto-refresh. Well, it's definitely reducing it. Unfortunately, this is not a change I could go to DevReg and submit an issue. But this might also be something Elm would be interested in. But this is actually, I did some testing, and I know at least the measure text was affecting Twitch as well. So this would normally be here. Yep, and then there we go. So we've actually started up, and then, yeah, it's like being hidden removes something it needs when it starts up. All right, well, this is still DevRig, so panel. Oh, I need. Actually, I think I've got a window I could use for this. I think I pulled over. No, I didn't. The extension developer stuff, we could also go over to there to extensions. My extensions. So I don't know if this is going to show up for anybody else. It's only going to be useful to me because it's still referencing local assets. Okay, so we accept. Oh, that actually worked. And that actually worked. Although my API call seems to have failed. Well, actually, so did you actually work? Okay, yeah, that's ugly. Okay. So you worked. Oh, and now it works. Okay. Right, so we've got these things to line up, and now they're ugly because they jump. Hmm. I also need to figure out. Well, I mean, some of it I put in a fade effect to hide the fact that it pops in. I might just need to see if I'm still doing rate limiting on this, even though it's really only making one call. But so far, we have not seen. Well, okay, that one time it didn't show up. That was actually what we were seeing in the rig when we had an Elm error. But it's getting infrequent enough that I can't really debug it. And so right now the way to make that reproducible is to go back to my other canvas thing. Because when the canvas was working differently, then it was fairly reliable. And then we have some idea what the situation was, namely that we loaded it in an iframe that was initially, well, it's gotten rare enough it's hard to pin down. I'm probably going to have to roll back the canvas stuff a little bit to see if I can narrow down the Elm issue. Okay. I can deactivate that for a moment. For the moment. Yeah, so it can get it, but it's not reliable right now. Does it come from... And now it becomes reliable. What the heck? So which... This is in coordinator, which is an extension frame. Wait, was I still messing with something here? This is a Git repo, so we can diff it. Don't know if I have one here right now. There we go. No, she just gets status. Yeah. There are currently no changes to coordinator. Now this was an unauthorized thing. Oh, this is kind of a fake message, I guess, so. What happened to you? That's bizarre. So something about loading up the panel on the other page seems to have... Oh, I know it broke on you. We went in here and changed from the local devrig script to the live script. Which for some odd reason doesn't work. Okay. So what we wanted to do... So is it sufficient... just to try and create these offhand? Actually, try to get valid with that. Actually, as long as we just don't call this, we're fine. We'll make it stick with its initial set. Oh, and there's okay, so... No, that was only an error failure. No, it's still not reliable. I don't remember if it was reliable before. How does this work? Okay. Tree-ish paths. Previous version of public bootstrap. Okay. Nope. Okay, it's not perfectly reliable. Can we at least get it once here? Okay, so their DOM node is undefined, and undefined has no properties. At uh category might be learn. Uh Element exceptions, that should get some attention. When loading in hidden iframe in Firefox, sometimes. Well, no, this is, we know what the conditions are. We can try to make a better test case. I don't know why this was involved in it. But we know about what this looks like. I don't know how much of the rest of this was involved. Also, this was a script created tag, so right, because this is the iframe. This, however, needs to have script, something that at some time delay is going to, oh, since we didn't create it, we have to, what? That's probably a good reminder to take a break every once in a while. And then I need to look up like document.find element iframe or something like that. And I will be back in a few minutes.
That's what we were looking for.
Don't get surrounded.
Come and get. Run him through. Right down.
Here we go. Long road ahead. Final customer. Let's do it.
Let's show him our dedication to service.
Meters filled to burst.
You.
¿Hay alguien en el punto? Sí, una fara.
Ah, que tiene la skin de... Ah, qué fuerte. Yo quiero esa.
¿Cuál? ¿De qué?
La que no tiene, la de Symmetra. La de... Esa es Symmetra Warframe, totalmente. Es Symmetra Lotus.
Sí, me trago así, vale.
Espérate, te voy a enseñar.
Vale, como tienen, claro, tienen una fara para mí.
Yeah, it's basically world has been cleared out. Oh, hey, where'd this hatch come from? What up, buddy? How's it going? You eating some of these resources and turning them into coal? You are. You are so ugly. Not ugly cute, just ugly. Hey, Nia, how's it going? Okay, perfect. No, baby! God damn it! I just can't keep a female character alive. What do I do?
My first rocket will contain an explorer, the drone, and the stuff needs to get a small start. The second rocket will launch pretty soon after, containing the transport and the command rover. And more stuff that I need, typically polymers, machine parts and electronics. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Then that.
Alright, welcome back. Actually, browsers can probably tell us some of this. Document.get element by tag name. That's probably going to be an array because that would be elements, I guess. Elements, yes. That should be only one. Then we would want it's a web server, sure. We don't actually need to make web requests. I don't think. HTML collection iframe. So we should be able to say what was the dev rig doing? Iframe style remove property. Wait, what? You're not hidden. What? Or is it display hidden or display? Has both allow scripts and allow same origin, can remove it sandboxing. Interesting. Did I do the wrong attribute here? iframe.style.display equals none. Yeah. Display none. Why is this not being applied? Pardon? Or is it reordering things? Oh, there's two style attributes. Okay. Dot remove property. Nope, iframes. Actually, we can do this. Okay, that works. That never seems to run afoul of the code. Introduce a delay. Okay, that gets the canvas errors and makes things get sized differently. It's interesting. Oh, it's setting height, width. Right, 'cause it's a double frame in Twitch. Okay, so just booting up in a hidden iframe doesn't do it. What about the issue in the other one was maybe that it started loading and then changed stuff? Frame dot was it display equals none? And then switching back off? Okay. Now this was flipping the bit at the same time as we get a message. Where does this even end? Send message. Post. Yeah, so that might have something to do with it. So it's not strictly booting up in a hidden iframe. But if we never hid the iframe, we couldn't get it to trigger. So this is clearly triggering in this state. If we never hide it, oh? I guess we don't need this. Now that was some sort of internal refresh. So I suppose it might have not completely cleared the DOM state. But sitting here and reloading, it's fine. And we're not handling the canvas errors right now. Yeah, well, yeah, I just don't have a good reproduction right now. It's clearly happening, but at this occurrence rate, I could just refresh. Hmm. 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 Or was I refreshing too fast? No. I don't know. What can we even fiddle with to trigger it? Well, you know what? I thought that removing the none improved it. But now what we're seeing is this is kind of a thing that just comes and goes of its own accord. So I don't actually know that this is a relevant attribute. All right. Well, changes to be committed. Is it indexed or staged? Yeah, this is undoing all my stuff. Ha. Okay. I did not expect that to go into add mode when I checked that out. So the frame is just kind of a debugging thing that hasn't panned out. So, alright, so back on the extension track until we run into trouble. So our main thing now is going to be trying to get back to what do we have to do to make this a proper extension? And one of the things have I dealt with? Oh, we need to our loading timeout. Well, I guess that's still working around Firefox kinks then. So we've got this, it shows up, and then we got bleh. I can animate that, but it's still going to move. Maybe I can set those up for a much longer appearance timeout. Ah. What do you know? Maybe 2's enough. Nope, definitely not enough. Oh, well, that may have not compiled. I'm used to working on the... Nope, definitely not enough. Does this not do what I think it does? Well, I might need a 2-stage animation for this one. Yeah. Or I have to only add it once we've got metrics, but what if we never get metrics? Keyframes delay appear? These should follow like class name guidelines, right? Okay, so for our standard default retry time, and actually another thing that we could do is see if we actually have to start with 1,000 seconds or milliseconds. I mean, we could even just try 0. Okay, it's literally wait 1 beat. And... you know, we could have that just in case. Oh, except you can't do 0. Because you can't multiply 0. And that will still be very, very rapid at first. Oh. Interesting. It must do some special scheduling of 0 to be like, whenever. Whereas you do it for some number of milliseconds, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess they really want to do it at that time. Or 0 gets turned into, you know, 1 frame's worth of time or something. So it looks like we're usually taking... well, I mean, that's actually 16 by that point. Just about. Yeah. Oh. So all of the little timeouts also added something to it. So that might be 1 frame. No. That's pretty wild. Or maybe it always takes exactly 1 retry. Well, no, because it... yeah. Exactly 1 retry of some minimum number of milliseconds. Oh, that took 3. Oh, no, that was 2. So I guess it is at least 16. So maybe it's like a 60 frames per second. Oh, and there's our error. But that's not reliable enough to get a reproduction on. Well, it is kind of our minimum time to get our canvas up. Unfortunately, hidden iframe is all I know about this right now, even though... Exceptions when running under the Twitch extension developer rig. And since I didn't see it happen with the public site. Runs a page in multiple levels of iframes, one of which is hidden and then shown shortly afterwards. Firefox, I've had issues with canvas tags created while the iframe is hidden being invalid. I guess that's the proper name. Every once in a while, I get a stream of Elm exceptions from in Yep. Okay, sure. And the exceptions are okay, you are also well, stream of exceptions, I guess. from it appears that, and I looked into this a little bit the other day, but to do this, we have to pause on exception, get into this state, go up the stack one, and we've got a child nodes with 3 elements and a J of 3 or 4 or whatever. Add DOM nodes help. Wait. Oh. Okay. That occurs to be from a recursive call in the same function. From a recursive call from the same function with child nodes, where child nodes has 3 elements and the J iterator is 3 or 4. I've inspected. I guess we'd grab this entire line. We missed... Ah, that was an I. I should probably say the rig. Has anybody seen a problem like this before? All right, we'll call that good for now. So, assuming we don't have too many problems with this, I was kind of looking to get back into the general steps. Okay, I know what I wanted to look into. Oh, and we made a few tweaks here. Try to remove shift effect when getting delayed text size information. Alright, schedule from videos. No, that is still using Twitch ID. Well, let me take a quick peek at that. Twitch ID is a constant. Twitch X is... There is a client ID and a user ID and a token in the auth information. So I'm wondering if any of those are supposed to be, well, Twitch ID is called a client ID here. We also have a thing called a client ID in this message. Which we're getting from auth, which probably means that's what we're supposed to use for API calls. But there's not really good information on that. Okay, that's a frame. So this is all the code stuff. Component.tsx? Oh, it's all the React stuff. Headers, client ID. Oh, yeah, client ID, client ID. There is no documentation on that. Oh, but that's a client ID too. Alright, so well, as long as I don't run into significant troubles, we're kind of switching over to Twitch extension. Environment. Auth. Didn't call it auth? Okay. Twitch. Oh, this is the graph. Schedule from videos. Unauthorized. This checks for the existence of channel ID. Don't currently have a good way. Don't Bug.log auth. Are you gonna you're gonna complain about my indentation, you jerk? Oh, no, actually, we need a string. Okay, it still allows that format. Oh, but this is actually completely borked the UART. Really? Is going to GUI refresh make it happen more often? Okay. Client ID. Token user ID. Is there any documentation on... No, she not support as much as docs. Oh, this site uses default black, which Firefox does not handle well. Okay. Or default text color on a white background, rather. Extension manifest. Okay, this is all just scroll through. Twitch developer forum. Panel extension, pop-out extensions. Where do we define the messages we send and what they mean? JSON web tokens. That's for EBS. So that's the token. Unauthorized. Communicate with your ABS. Send it to verify it. Oh, to your extension and then verify it. This is probably not the right one. And this is where we got the colors from. Mobile. So there was a thing for mobile view, and this should work fine. Okay, those are for click targets. And I guess that's just convention. Keep it above the fold. Reduce viewable window. Hmm. I might actually be able to use the same layout for that. Building. It's separate front ends. If you same viewer, you can customize your behavior. Extension support on iOS devices. Okay, so we can do mobile without having to deal with that. Extension helper library. Backend service. Configuration service. This is all so irrelevant for the simple thing I'm doing. Pre-release disclosures. Reference, I guess. So extension required configuration. Seems like JavaScript helper. Extension actions, configuration, features. Unauthorized. Is that a client ID for API requests or not? Past is a header to some backend path. Well, in local mode, that's not going to be a real client ID, presumably. Visibility changed. It's video. Broadcaster segment. Oh, that's the configuration service. Real-time updates features. Great parameters. I think we've looked at a bit. JWT. So I think the only way to test this is to do all the work to set it up so we use the client ID and then put it into local test mode. Let's develop a rig. Client ID. Fortunately, we only have a couple of API calls in this one. We're going to have to pass it to all of them. All right. Model. Location, navigation key, login. You shouldn't be a maybe string. We should always have one. Twitch ID dot client ID is a default, and then on auth. Now the awkward thing here is I don't know if this will work in general. I may have to know whether I'm in sort of production mode. Oh, right, that changes our syntax. And then all of my calls have to pass that through. So fetch users by name. Has to have it. Fetch users by ID has to have it, and fetch videos has to have it. Fetch users. This is only going to be if we get an initial URL user ID. Fetch user by name. That actually takes care of two of them. Set username, which also shouldn't be happening there. We should have a model.client ID here. Alright, so fetch user by name, fetch user by ID, and then fetch videos. This is on receiving the user. Or if we, on authorized, which should use auth.clientID. Okay. Okay, it compiles. It might not work in here. And I don't know if we get any feedback on that call. Right. Because it's not defaulting to a useful user. Video fetch error, bad status, unauthorized. So the only way I know to properly test this is to go to panel. And then I had this in a window. Yes. And I think I closed this. Pardon. Should have got to the bugger up first. Elm is not defined? Did we have a fetch failure here? This is only, well, yeah, yeah, I've had trouble with these. Yeah, really? And network got deselected in the meantime. Okay, we got panel, we got Twitch X'd. K-tag. So now it doesn't work. Wait, I removed the wrong script here. Too many scripts. So we need to remove this one. Oh. Well, that's fun. Okay. Oh, I guess it's supposed to think for resize. Well, no, it's got some aspect ratio limits here. Get request. Okay. They appear to be providing a valid client ID. Oh, I want to check that timing for this too. But that's one step. And timing will not require us to be in a live view. We need you. Oh, did I not hit? Oh. I remove the other one. Alright, we added a blank line. That was on purpose, so I switched the right ones. And we pass our client ID to the other calls. Use extension provided client ID for API calls. Oh, I want to look at timing. Because there is a bit of delay there. Fetch videos can happen. When we get our user. Or when we get authorized. So the question is, we're probably still, Wait, did I leave? Yes, I did. We do want to hit, when do we call fetch videos? And from where? And that's pretty much unconditional. Fetch videos from user. Fetch videos from auth. Oh, I need to fix this so I use my definite ID in local mode. Let me poke at a couple files. No, that's actually devrig stuff. It was R something. Run list.json. Client ID. So I can send that with my manual messages. How about ID? It does have a thing that looks an awful lot like the client ID. Wait. Are we even getting a default auth message? Yes. And channel does not look like a valid channel ID. Which means I won't try to fetch videos anyway. Which means I don't know... DevRig configuration, is that... No. How about run list? Context, context. Those are explicit mock responses. Alright, somewhere in the docs they specify, here's where you specify a user. It's currently doing... rig, no. It's currently doing... Maybe that was actually the startup parameters? Or was I looking at docs? Local, local, local. Windows Online. Wait, that is config.json. Okay, they did say something about having to... Well, it does have a client ID, but it's not giving me a... So they're saying auth is with channel ID, but I'm expecting that to be numeric. Because it was an ID. Oh, this is channel, that's channel ID. Interesting. I might have to put, well, it's still not the value in my config file. They said you might have to delete local storage for the developer rig, which is something we have to track down. So actually we found the doc for that. channel name must be alphabetic. Maybe it's only because it's invalid? There was something about... change the channel and now the color... Create an extension and start using a channel. You may not change it to a different one. Clear the local storage. Recreating the views in the developer rig. Okay. Is that storage? Ooh, they've got a... I don't suppose there's a single value for that. Doesn't look like it. Add refresh. Oh wait, oh these are cookies. Rig login, extension views. Huh. Actually, let's just go over here in case there's anything on the reauthentication bit. Yep, okay, it signed itself in. Doesn't really matter. Maybe I actually have to restart the rig. Which is one of these. Okay, so that's actually the asset server. That's Elm compiler. No, is that Elm compiler? And then that's the rig proper. And I just looked at config JSON. Not channel. Is there more than one config JSON? Rig your name, rig your name, rig your name. Well, that doesn't even find config.json. Right, because yeah. So this is something with the code. Well, yeah, channel. What? Is this something configured back at Twitch? For like testing user. Overview. Not much. Settings. So it did take off the local mode flag on the one thing. Client configuration. Image assets. Ooh, no, don't want to delete it. Where are you coming from? Because that is not... Well, maybe I misread where config JSON is supposed to go. Path to developer rig. Echo client ID version channel owner name to config. Oh, to down directory config JSON. Developer rig. Now we need to figure out which one was this one. No, still not using it. Where do I specify this? Oh, yarn start minus C. Okay. I guess that just gets it out of the main directory there. Notes, yarn start. Was it you? No, that's the other one. All right. No, wrong one. Extension developer egg, extension developer egg. What is... I did close this. Okay. That's still saying channel, so this might be where we have to go into storage. Local storage. And this is the one where we redo this because we have to do the sign in. Which it actually just kind of auto does. But it's the rig is passing in the alphabetic name. Whereas the moment we're expecting this to be numeric ID, which appeared to work, but maybe Twitch is doing some stuff on the back end to just make it work. So panel Wish there was an easier way to switch these. I mean, I guess I could use different files. And then too many windows. Oh, did I just close that? No, it's here. Oh, and that went there. Okay. And there. Sure. We really want to be able to get a debugger on this. And actually, we are currently set to dump that. Yeah, channel ID's numeric. Okay. So we find our config file. Oh. This was the frame test, so we actually want index will give me the box that will look this up. User ID. All right, now, which one were you? Channel. Oh, it opens a new one every time. That won't get confusing. Ooh, took a little bit longer to get canvas that time. Ooh. Took a lot of bit longer to get canvas that time. Well, it seemed to be working in Twitch, but this... Ooh, did that actually break something? That actually broke something. Somewhere the rig expects channel to be alpha. And it won't work with the numeric ID. Alright, so the only way around this, well, we need to put our config file back, because it's not even giving us the message. So we can perform a username lookup here. That's going to change the timing. What I'm trying to work out now is specifically, are there any unnecessary delays in our lookup here? Oh, no, the problem here is that we're in live mode. From doing the Twitch test, Which means we can actually try switching this back and see if it works. I'm getting confused that I have too many of these. You were a dev server too, weren't you? Okay, and this is where we might have to clear local storage again. And then create a view. Oh! But it's okay. They've got multiple places to specify this. It. We can regenerate that if we need to. They're going to open a new one, so that'll just confuse me. Oop. Video fetch. Client ID. Add a view. Bad status. Okay. Well, I guess I could work on it at in the actual Twitch widget, because they do give you a valid ID there. Although we know that maybe I have to use this one here. Nope. Oh, but we still have that. No, we need to... Oh, no, we do need that. No, actually. We need to be in this... I guess you could... yeah, I want to be in this context. Okay, we have something where we can actually test stuff. Unauthorized. We want to know this is happening. Okay, so we got auth. It was a bit. Options. This does go into pending requests. So we did this to dodge API request limits. To try and make sure we're not going afoul of API request limits. But I'm not sure this project does enough requests to be a real issue. Now, the one that I use in Hostable probably could do that. So set username, does fetch user by name. In fact, I was looking earlier, there were like maybe 6 API calls in this. So the answer might just be to rip all the pending request stuff out. Yeah, request rate. So we do have our startup stuff. This is set up as a list, but it's a list of one value. This has to become a command.batch. Yeah, because they're taking over for that. Yeah, next request goes away. Unauthorized sends that. Set username sends that. I may have some syntax to clean up here. Pending requests. Subscriptions. We just don't even have this. So this ceases to exist. Next request. Ooh. No, I explicitly request the current time. That shouldn't be an issue. And I think I may have missed some syntax fix-ups here. Okay. That's not significantly better. In fact, that's not even working. Did we even try? Get 200. We did not wait. Was there something in next request that bumped us here? Or was I doing something with outstanding requests? Oh, that pumped it through response. Well, no. We double tagged it, so fine. I don't need to do that anymore. That was purely for outstanding message counting. So did we get... Because I saw the request go out. And unfortunately, this has gone on long enough. I need to take a short break. Be back shortly. But... Oh. I mean, there's worse places to do it. Oh, you... You impossible idiots. Oh my god, I almost lost the entire colony.
I'm inside the ground right now. I'm down here. This is where I am. Okay. Oh my god. How Don't worry, guys. We're ready to go explore the planet now. Oh shit, this is... Oh, gotcha. Right. Fahrenheit. I live in a country that uses ye old Celsius. So I was like, what? But that totally makes sense. 100%. Okay, let's get liquefiable stuff. This is ice and snow. Copy your settings over, like that.
Okay. We're compiling again. We don't need a response, but I'm just kind of curious. Oh, and we got that random error. So we got videos back. And they're displaying this time. Maybe there was something in there. And then response just isn't needed in this context. We're not counting anything. Oh, did I leave the pause on exceptions? Okay. Then we had the random errors. Alright, so we need videos. We can see that they're coming back. Thank you. Nope, they're actually coming in before the labels now. Cool. I don't know. I could have the code hide the labels and make them appear once we have metrics. And then use the same appear code. But basically you don't have the big delay. And this is probably also something I'm kind of done with now. But that should maybe be a different change. Wait, didn't I turn debugger off? What the heck? Okay, so that's random errors. And then it's fine. Alright, so we have to do that. And we're not actually using the values I was interested in the config file, but sure. Oh, and that removes all of the request rate stuff, request limit, request rate, request rate. Did you switch over to debugger again? Why? Maybe I did that? I don't know. So I disabled stopping. Remove rate limit. We have very few calls at once. And that was causing kind of an annoying startup delay. Which, I mean, the good news is that will make all of these better as well. And then debug.log. We're not really in any question on this stuff. Oh. Maybe you are broke on something? And then we get the error, which was behaving so well for a while. Remove parameter debugging. Oh, we're actually not hitting our canvas thing always as fast as we'd like. Okay. So that is, I probably need to spend some more time going over the extension guideline stuff. See what else we might be able to do. But that's a point where I might be able to put it somewhere besides the rig and see if it'll work from there. And then I don't know if it shows up for anybody, if they're doing it by viewer or by channel where it can appear. Anyway, I think that I have gone a little bit late again. So, speaking of schedules, that is about when, yeah, a little bit late-ish. That is about when I tend to stream. And we can probably make that a little bit nicer if we get rid of the bug stuff. Thanks to Destructively Phased to Left Right Crutch, Joey Sheffer AP, Stemius Leopard, Huskin TV, Deadly Taco, Asarat Gaming, Dog and Lake, GameDev.tv, or GameDev_TV, Catnox, Gamer Siren, Kuro Kitsune, InSpeed Live, and Thylos for hosting me. if you're looking for some place to go next, do we have any other development going on? That one. See, both of those might be wrapping up soon. That might be wrapping up soon too. Well, yeah, based on his most recent stream, Toaster Few might be going for a little bit. He's doing a Twitch-powered Nerf launcher and Go. I did know some swearing there. If you mind that. So you know, be advised if that's a thing you care about. Otherwise, he's somebody I've enjoyed watching in the past. So yeah. Goodbye and until next time.